Hey guys, due to overwhelming demand from the comments section of the Senorita Fingerstyle cover we posted last week, I'm going to show you how to play the entire song from start to finish in this video. It's going to be a bit longer than standard videos because it is a longer fingerstyle song, but I promise if you stick with it, by the end of this video you'll be able to play that song too. In this video I'm going to start by showing you a slow playthrough of the song that's going to make it easier to practice along with, and then I'll go note by note through the entire song. If you want the tabs, they're available for purchase if you click here or in the link in the description below this video, and you'll be able to follow along with this video hopefully a lot easier with those. If this video helps you out, then please hit that thumbs up button. It really does make a difference. And let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below, as well as any other songs you'd like me to do. If you're not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button to get more videos like this. And with that, let's get started. finger picking or you want to get better at it, then you can check out my course right here. Otherwise, let's get into it. The song structure of this song is going to be chorus, verse, and then a final chorus. And I'm going to explain each of the parts to you now. One note about our right hand is I'm not going to go through too much right hand positioning, but in general, you want to play your thumb on the top 3 strings, and then your first finger on the 3rd string, second finger on the 2nd string, and 3rd finger on the 1st string. It's guitar, so there's no hard rules, but in general, stick to that unless you've got a reason to not. Okay, so let's start off with the chorus. We're going to start by grabbing an A minor chord, and we're going to play this part. So that's 5th and 2nd string, and then 3rd, 4th, and you're going to go back to the 2nd string, and do a pull off, and then to the open 3rd string. Then you're going to put that first finger back on the 2nd string and do, so that's open string, hammer on, pull off, back to the 3rd string, and then back to the 2nd string again. All together. And we're going to do a very similar thing, but switch to a C chord. So then putting that together. So the C chord is basically the exact same as the start with the A minor. Then to switch, we're going to go back to the 2nd string. And you're doing a, just with the chord still held if you can, to make it a little smoother. So add that in. Then we're going to switch to what's technically an F major 7. Then we're going to switch to what's technically an F major 7 chord, but you don't need to worry about this 2nd finger right here. So basically just 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string, 2nd finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. And then we're going to do this alternating thing. And what I'm doing here is I'm just alternating between the 4th and the 2nd strings. But you also want to mute the 2nd string by releasing this finger just a little bit. Release the pressure so that it mutes the string. And it gives it a little bit more of a bouncy feel. Then everything we've got so far is going to sound like this. Then from there, we're going to go up to the 2nd finger, and this one's important, on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and then you're going to play the 3rd string and the 6th string. And do hammer on, pull off alternation with this 3rd finger. And to get a nice pull off, you want to actually flick it down a little bit with this 3rd finger to make that 2nd note sound a little more, as opposed to just straight up and down, where you don't really get much of a sound. You actually do want to flick a little bit with a pull-off. And then you're going to go down to the 4th string, And this one's a little tough. If you can't get much of a sound with your straight hammer on there, then you can just pluck it with your thumb on the right hand over here. Then you're going to do pretty much the same thing, but also throw on this first finger on the third for the sixth string. So then you're getting the chorus by bringing your first finger on the second fret of the third string and the open fifth string. So just third string and then both. So then the chorus all together sounds like this. Now the one final thing is I do play some percussive hits when I'm playing it, and for anyone that wants to try that, I play on beats 2 and 4. It does make it a lot more challenging and you have to switch your fingers around, so I'd recommend leaving out the percussive hits unless you're a little more comfortable with them, but if you want to add in the percussive hits, it's going to sound like this. So again, you can just leave them out and play that thing without it if you aren't comfortable with those. They do make it a little more interesting and add a bit of a rhythmic feel, but try those out if you want to. So that's the full first chorus. Now for the second and third choruses, all we're going to do differently is play that entire thing twice instead of just once. What we're going to do here when we're going to the second and third choruses is play this. So that's just a little bit of a rundown, and then you start again with and so forth for the rest of it. So that's just that part's all the same as what we just learned, but then you're going to go 5th fret, 4th, 2nd, all in a slide, or pick if it's easier. And then open 2nd string. So that's the transition. You can do or, whichever one's easier for you and sounds nicer. And then you're going to go back into repeat that whole thing. So we've got this. And so forth, and you continue the whole thing. And then the second and third choruses, you're going to use this transition and play the chorus twice. So then all together, choruses 2 and 3 are going to sound like this. Then you can just play that if it's easier for you, but if you do want to challenge yourself and try out the percussion, you can do a percussive slap on beats 2 and 4 in the first run through. And then the second run through, I'm just going to add a nice body hit there to fill in the rhythm. And it's easier to just listen along and try and follow it. One really big thing that does help with percussion is having your guitar strap, because it stops the guitar from wobbling around and it makes it a lot easier to play in time. So then with the percussion, that chorus is going to sound like this. And then that chorus is going to lead into the verse, and that's going to sound like this. So as you can see there's basically one part that we play twice, and we're going to start, we end the chorus, and this is the first note of the verse, is that 5th string, and the 3rd string with that 2nd fret there. So you're going to play that, and you're going to hold that and let it ring out. Then you're going to put your 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and your pinky on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. And alternate with pull-off and a hammer-on between these 2 frets. So and then end that with the pinky on the 3rd string. So you play that twice. I hammer on and pull it off. But if you find that too challenging, you can just pick each note individually to play this. Either way works, whichever one sounds best for you. So then after that, you're going to take this pinky and slide down to the 4th fret. And then from there, you're going to play this part. So that's similar rhythm, but you've got the 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, and then the open 2nd string to give a little bit of a dissonant sound. And then you're going to go 1st string, 2nd string with this pinky again on, 1st string, then back to the 2nd string, and then pull off to have this 1st finger on the 1st fret of that 2nd string there. So then when you add that, what we've got so far is this. And this is a lot of pinky work, so don't worry if your pinky's pretty tired there. This will work on those pinky muscles and get them moving a little better. Then once we're done that, we're going to go into this. And full speed, it's going to sound like this, and it's going to be kind of fast. So you can try that one out if you're feeling adventurous, but that's going to start on this 3rd fret on the 5th string, and then put that pinky back on, and alternate between the 2nd and 1st strings. And then I'm using this 1st finger for a hammer on and pull off, so. And then again, I'm doing a pull off rhythm with on the 2nd string. So then you put those 2 parts together. And that one is a bit tricky to get down, so a simpler version, if you want to try this instead, would just be, again, do the same thing we did in the first run through of this little part. So just that makes it a little simpler. So you're going to hold this fret the entire time, but I'm going to take it off to show you. Then it's going to be open 1st string, then 2nd string on the 3rd fret with the pinky there. Then back to open 1st string, then 1st fret to open, 3rd fret on the 2nd string to the 1st fret, and then that's that whole part. So all together. or the more challenging part. Either one works. I'd recommend for most people to try the easier version, but if you want a challenge, you can try out that harder version. And then, so putting that into what we've got so far, the verse is going to be like this. And then from there, we're going to go to first finger on the second fret of the third string and second finger on the third fret of the fourth string. And play that chord. And then add on this pinky again. Yeah, we're getting a huge pinky workout in this song here. But it's going to be... So third and fourth string, and then second, first, second. Then throw this pinky again to the fifth fret of the fourth string, and I'm using a little slide from the fourth to the fifth fret. So that's fourth string, third string, fourth string. So then you can go, and then back to this third fret again. And then the second string, again on the third fret. And then end with this. So, again. But with this third fret held. So, adding that in, we've got... And then the chorus starts again. So the verse all together sounds like this. And so forth into the chorus. And that right there is basically the entire verse. So now you can play the first chorus, the verse, the second chorus, and basically the second verse. So then going to the second chorus, it's going to be pretty much the same thing, except at the end of it, I switch to this overhanded part right that I play in the cover. And this one is a fun way to play it, and it's a good way to show off, but it's actually obviously way easier to play the exact same thing on the lower strings here. So I'll show it to you not overhanded, and if you want the challenge, you can try and do it overhanded, but most of you are probably going to want to play it just the normal way. So the second verse, I'll just play it for you, and then I'll show you what that last part is going to sound like. And so that part right there is exactly the same as what you've done in the first verse. And after that is where you switch to this part. But I'll play it underhanded, which is going to sound like this. And then that's where the verse ends and goes back into the chorus. So, for this, you're going to bar the second and third strings with this first finger. And it's a little bit tricky if you've never done a bar before, but you're going to start and play the second and the fifth string. And basically what we're doing here is alternating between the open fifth string and one of the notes in these higher two strings. So you're going to start, play both, but then alternate. And then we're going to go 8, 6, 5, third string, 7, 5. And that's the whole thing. and then go back to 8/6. So that's the whole rhythm right there. You're basically the entire time just alternating a note on these top strings and a note on the low string there. Then in between that, when I'm playing the actual song, when I'm doing the actual cover, I bring this hand over and do a little roll on the body hit to give a nice percussive stop. Again, that's optional. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but it is kind of fun to try. And then you repeat that exact same thing again. So that's the entire part there. And those last two notes are just that second and fifth string as we've been playing before, just muted with these strings. So to give a nice dead stop feel, and then you switch right back into the chorus. So altogether, that second verse is going to sound like this. And so forth into the final chorus, which is going to be the exact same as the second chorus. And then with that, you've got the entire song. And if you can play those parts, you can play this entire song. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button and let me know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already to get more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video.